Memorial Day is often explained in schools as a holiday honoring fallen American soldiers, and while that's true, the deeper history behind the holiday is far more complicated, emotional, and even controversial than many people realize. The origins of Memorial Day stretch back to the aftermath of the American Civil War, the deadliest war in American history. More than 600,000 soldiers died, leaving entire communities traumatized. Families across the country struggled to process mass grief on a scale America had never seen before. In the years immediately after the war, ordinary citizens, and especially women's groups, began organizing informal cemetery tributes. They decorated graves with flowers, ribbons, and handwritten notes. At the time, the tradition was often called Decoration Day. One often overlooked fact is that many of the earliest large-scale memorial events were organized by formerly enslaved Black Americans. In May of 1865, just weeks after the Civil War ended, thousands of freed African Americans in Charleston reportedly held a massive memorial ceremony for Union soldiers who had died in Confederate prison camps. Historians say they reburied neglected soldiers, built a memorial arch, sang hymns, and marched in honor of the dead. For decades, this event received little attention in mainstream textbooks. Another overlooked detail is that Memorial Day was not universally accepted at first. After the Civil War, the United States remained deeply divided. Many former Confederates resisted participating in ceremonies that honored Union soldiers. Southern states often created separate Memorial Days for Confederate dead, and for many years Memorial Day reflected political tensions more than national unity. One of the key figures in formalizing the holiday was John A. Logan, a Union Civil War general and leader of a veterans organization called the Grand Army of the Republic. In 1868, Logan officially called for a nationwide day of remembrance on May 30th. Interestingly, May 30th was chosen partly because it wasn't tied to a specific Civil War battle anniversary, allowing communities across the nation to participate without favoring one side. But even then, not everyone supported the holiday. Some Americans believed the country should move on from the war rather than reopen emotional wounds. Others argued the holiday ignored Black soldiers and formerly enslaved people who also sacrificed greatly during the conflict. For decades, Memorial Day ceremonies focused mainly on Civil War casualties, but after World War I, the holiday gradually expanded to honor Americans who died in all wars. In 1971, Memorial Day officially became a federal holiday observed on the last Monday in May. The change created the modern three-day weekend many Americans know today, and that leads to another criticism surrounding the holiday. Some veterans groups and historians argue Memorial Day has become overly commercialized. Retail sales, travel promotions, and barbecues often overshadow the original purpose of honoring military sacrifice. Even today, debates continue over whether the meaning of the holiday is fading. Another overlooked fact: Memorial Day and Veterans Day are not the same holiday. Memorial Day specifically honors military personnel who died while serving. Veterans Day honors all who served in the armed forces, whether they died in service or not. Throughout American history, Memorial Day has reflected both remembrance and division, grief and patriotism, unity and unresolved national tensions. Yet despite its complicated origins, the holiday continues to evolve. At cemeteries across the United States, volunteers still place flags on graves, families still visit memorials, and every year at 3 p.m. local time, the National Moment of Remembrance encourages Americans to pause for 1 minute to honor those who never came home. Memorial Day is more than just the unofficial start of summer. It is a reminder that history is often more layered, more human, and more contested than what many of us were taught in school. And perhaps understanding those forgotten stories helps us better understand the country itself. Please leave a comment about your experiences with Memorial Day. Did you learn something new from this video? Also, thank you for leaving a thumbs up and sharing this video.